TSO on top, baby. Let's go. Another top 8. Yesterday we just came back from the FGG monthly, and I'm proud to say that I finally, after almost, let's say, about 14 months straight, was able to break the bubble and get top 8 with my favorite deck of all time, Hero Beat. So I just want to bring you guys a little deck profile. It's muy caliente, a little spicy, so hopefully we enjoy it. If you have any comments about it, let us know below. As always, use code TSO on rogueenergy.com, poggerslifestyle.com, or our brand new affiliate, Starforge Systems, code TSO, 5% off on a brand new spanking gaming PC, boys. All right, you want that premium gaming experience? Remember, code TSO. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile, boys. All right, we'll start off with the monster cards here in the main deck. Obviously, you got to play the 3 Neos Alias here. Gemini Spark, Light Beater, where the deck name comes from, Honest Target, Hero Blast, the best vanilla you can play, honestly. And actually, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I'm not going to show the Hero package. I'm going to show you what I call the Light package. This card was the MVP of the event. It was on 3 DD Warrior Lady, searchable off Rhoda, Light Target, and honestly, just complete removal for anything you would need. You can either just choose to banish something that's in your way, or you can just drop it Honest, so your opponent doesn't really know what's going to happen. It's a 50-50 if they're either going to get their card destroyed by the Honest or if they're going to get banished. Also with this, what I really like is you can play kind of mind games with it. Once they know you're on Hero Beat, you can either make it look like it's either a Fossil Dyna or a Snowman Eater. So when you set a card in this deck, honestly, it plays so many different mind games into what they could be swinging into, and that's what I really enjoy about it. This card by far, absolute MVP of the event. Since I'm calling it the Light package, obviously we got the 2 Honest to go with it. One thing I really like about this card, besides obviously it's just incredibly good in the damage stuff for its effect, is that you can just summon it, poke, and put it back to your hand, so you're not really losing card advantage. And at that point, also kind of with the mind games, if you swing with it and put it back to your hand, they know you have it, and it kind of, depending on how you play the game, it kind of can set them off course, because they're just so paranoid about the Honest. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, for the other hero cards, Ocean. This deck's really a lot about tempo. So if you can like time it right with some back row, or if you just like start removing your opponent's cards and put them down to very little, you can put this on board and keep it on board, and you can just get recursion with the Stratos or any Neos Alias, Water Target, circumvents DD Crow in its own way because it's a hero and a water. Stratos, you gotta play it. I feel like if you open this, like your odds of winning the game are just so much higher because you have what you need almost immediately. Now I'm going to move on to the water package. We got the Diva package. If I wasn't playing 42 cards, I really wish I had a second one of this. Everyone gives me shit for it, but when you open this, it sucks so bad. Like, honestly, it kind of just turns into, worst comes to worst, I'm just going to summon it, and eventually it's going to go to the graveyard, and it'll be a water target for Miracle Fusion. It's about it, honestly. Sometimes playing, like, it's not the worst, because, like, if you open this and this, you can just play this and get another level 2 tuner, so, like, regardless of what your opponent does, unless it's a Torrential or, like, an Icarus attack, you're at least you're almost guaranteed just to still have a level 2 tuner left over, so, like, it's not the worst. Yeah, I think this is the most optimal, just 3 in 1, but, like, I always end up wishing I had the second one. For the rest of the water cards here, 2 Snowman Eater. I ended up siding one out a lot. I could see if someone really wanted to start shaving this down to 40 cards, which I would totally understand cutting one of these. But as I said earlier, they don't know if you're gonna have a DD Warrior Lady, if you're gonna have the Fossil Dyna side deck, or if they're gonna have the Snowman Eater. Sometimes even if you have nothing, like games 2 and 3, they're gonna just assume it's one of those, so you can just set something random. And I just needed to up the water count because I need absolute zeros to be live more often. So I ended up settling on playing 2 of these. For the rest of the monsters, I made deck 1 Cyber Dragon. It's just a big light beater. This deck really struggles with it's so reliant on your normal summon that I just needed something else that would apply pressure that was like a free body. And this was also a light target. So this kind of worked out. And there's also tends to be a lot of Machina floating around so far. I actually lost at the last round of Swiss to my teammate Omar Jones because he really likes playing machine decks. So there's just more and more often I've seen more and more machine decks floating around Edison events. And I just need that little extra push, and this tends to do it. Also, like this, and then Summoning Diva can give you into a Black Rose. So like, if you need it, it's there. I've never done it, but like I know the line's there if I just absolutely need to wipe the board. And then we play 1 Gores, because this deck's so tempo based, right? Even though you play back row, honestly, this does come up a lot because, as I said, this deck does have a lot of special summons. It's like you get 1 summon that's mostly in unless you're packing a Miracle Fusion. And sometimes, honestly, the best play, especially early games, just like set a single card and then it'll play into this. For spell cards, 3 Miracle Fusion. Card's incredible. Absolute Zero is one of the best cards in the format. 3 Gemini Spark. I know there's only 3 Geminis in the deck, but you can recur them back with Ocean or the Hero Blast I run. And just being able to like summon your Neos Alias and just, it's almost like an insurance policy, right? It's like, okay, if something goes wrong, I'm most likely can either Gemini Spark, draw a card, and get rid of something on the board, or I have my Honest. So like, regardless of what happens, I'm getting some sort of benefit from it. So it's almost kind of like an insurance policy to me. I was playing 2 E-Call. The hero lineup in here is pretty small. So 3, I kept it up like late game, drawing into a dead E-Call, but like I needed the consistency, so 1 wasn't gonna do it. So I ended up on 2. I thought it was perfect, honestly. I either always open this or the Rhoda, or just hard had the Stratos. I'm really happy with the 2. This card's so awesome. Search for any hero card or search for the DD Warrior ladies. It's so, I really love this card. I mean, it's a staple for a reason. 1 MST, I mean, you just kind of gotta play it. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Brain Con, 1 Fufu, the broken 1-ofs. Because I upped the water package, I really like this card now. Sometimes I felt like before, if I didn't have enough waters, I was just sending stuff that I would need late game. But with like the 2 Snowman Eaters and stuff, this is fine. And also, I mean, broken card's gonna be broken. Either your opponent has to answer, you get free absolute zero, and like worst comes to worst, then you just set up a Miracle Fusion play. Or you can set up Hero Blast plays, which is pretty cool. For the trap lineup, I was on 3D Prison. I'll keep saying this over and over again. It's tempo based to win the matchups. You just need to make sure your opponent has less cards than you do. Stardust Dragon's a bitch, so I really, really enjoyed this card. I lost in top 8 because my opponent decided an Imperial Iron Wall, and it kind of went crazy with this and the 2 bottomless I play. So that stung pretty good. In future, I could probably, in hindsight, maybe say side these out if you think your opponent's gonna be an Iron Wall, but that's really if you just think they're gonna be an Iron Wall. More and more people are playing it though, so like in hindsight, I think I could have played around it better. As I said, I just want to make sure they don't have resources, and this just permanently gets rid of them. Unless they have the 1-of Return or Burial, but it's a 1-of. If they have it, they have it. I played 1 Hero Blast. I saw at one of the Chicagos, maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago, some guy topped and he had 3 in his deck. I thought that was crazy, but like, if it works, it works, right? That was a completely different build than this one had. It was really reliant on like stun. I feel like if I had 2, it just wasn't alive as much as I needed it to, but being able to just pop something and get your own card back for tempo is so good, and you can set it up with, as I said, you can set up with Fufu. So I really liked the 1. I ended up siding it out a lot, but it kind of felt like a free card to side out, and like it was good when I needed it. So I think I'm pretty happy with the 1. There's no 1 compulse. I was really hesitant about this, honestly, but it just being chainable and I can just out the Stardust Dragon, which seems to be like just such a difficult card for me to get over in this deck. I really enjoyed it. And then when I kind of consider the broken 1-ups of the trap lineup, gotta play the Mirror Force, gotta play the Torrential, Solemn Judgment. This card will either lose you the game or it's gonna win you the game. You really have to time it properly. It's like, okay, I out-tempered them enough that they have minimal card advantage and I have all the card advantage. I'm going to set this to secure game. And you got to play the Trap Dust Shoot. Kind of just... Isn't it like 60% win ratio just automatically if you open this? I'm pretty sure. It's some statistic like that. But my deck counts 42. I never once opened this. So, like, if you trim it down to 40, it's probably better. But, like, it's one of those cards I feel like you just have to play it. We'll go to the extra deck next. So, for fusions, for Miracle Fusion, we got the 3 Absolute Zero, best card in the format. This card's absolutely ridiculous. No matter what your opponent does to out it, they're going to lose something. I was playing 1 Gaia. I'm trying to think. I think it won me round 5 because I side in the Fossil Dynas, and it ended up winning me the game because I was able just to drop this, and then I think I normal summoned afterwards and just secured a game. And like, I feel like no one really ever expects to see this one coming in Eurobeat because there's not that many Earths. Also, another random card that you could play in the deck that I was considering is you could play Wild Heart. I didn't play it, so don't like get me wrong, but like it's definitely worth playtesting with it. And for the rest of the fusions, as I said, I want 2 of this because there's just so much more Machina or like Jinzo TK floating around. And me playing the Cyber Dragon just feels like a free board wipe, and then I just get the beater. It never came up that I needed both of them, I'm gonna be honest, but it could come up, and I have the room because this deck isn't super synchro reliant, so you can make the room, and I chose to make the room for it. Let's see here, for synchros. At locals, this came up a few times, so I was like, I should play it, but it never came up. But as I said, there's more than enough room in this extra because you're not really making many synchros, so it's better to have it than not have it. With the Diva package, you always end up going to level 5s. This is obviously just amazing card. Just free removal, applies pressure. The secret MVP of the extra deck, it's this card. It's a light beater, and you gain life points. You can just outpace your opponent, and then they're gonna swing into it if you have the Honest. I really, really love this card. By far the MVP off of the Diva package. Broken card. Board wipe, protection. If you think they have Deep Prison, make this. If they think they have Mirror Force or Torrential, make this. I won a match because I was almost certain I read the Deep Prison. I made this and it was the right call. And then Colossal Fighter. I never made it, but once again, if it comes up, it comes up. And like Colossal Armory is just ridiculous. The extra deck isn't super important, so like just having what I would need in that off niche scenario is really important to me. Going to the side deck, I'm siding the other Cyber Dragon for if I'm going second. 2 Fossil Dyna. A lot of times when I was going going into game 2, I would kind of like start siding things out to like play more stun heavy. And as I said earlier, this plays mind games with the DD Warrior Lady or the Snowman Eater. This card's pretty cool. I like making a big board and then just summoning this afterwards. It's kind of like an insurance policy of like, okay, it's even harder for you to out me than it was before. 2 DD Crow. Honestly, this card's extremely underrated in this format. If you want to play 3, 100% play 3. I really, really regret not siding this in against Lightsworn. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I just felt like I was afraid of siding out too many engine cards and just like top decking this and just it being dead. And I figured like, at the moment I was thinking, if they have JD, they're already gonna have more than 4 names. But in hindsight, I don't think that was the right decision. I was playing these, because if I wanted to side in to play a more stun variant, I would swap these out with DD Warrior Ladies if I'm playing a side in the skill drain, which we'll get to. just because I could play this under skill drain and it's a light beater. 2 skill drain. This card's either incredible or just really, really bad. Sometimes wish this was Oppression, or if I could make the room to play Oppression, I think I would. But like, it definitely won me games, but also lost me games, so I'm a little torn on it. I also feel like if you played 1 Oppression, 1 skill drain, that'd just be terrible. So I guess it's player preference. I really, really, really like this card. It's just free removal, non-targeting. Christia's annoying because it's like the one light card. It's so big, and if they're gonna have Honest, so I just can't get over it most of the time. Or the the Arcus and Lightsworn. So non-targeting removal, and I chose to play this over the Smashing Ground because I feel like this was better if I go into an opponent that has the dupe block and Absolute Zero. Might be a little bit nostalgia for the LOB print too. I was getting a lot of hate on this card. People said the format's so much like different now that you shouldn't play this. But if you open it and just hit their T set, it sets them back so much. And as I said, this deck's really tempo dependent, so I really, really, really like this card. I didn't end up playing many Frogs this weekend, but in my playtesting, when I did play against Frogs, especially like the Synchro variant of Frogs, and since this is a big trap deck, signing this in and just ripping it if you open it, it seems so good. You could make this Oppression, and like I would get it completely, but I was on this. And then the token. Alright. Back up to my beautiful face here. Oh, you saw that filter. You saw that filter switch. I'm not gonna lie. There's that filter on. I'm not gonna lie. We gotta look beautiful for the camera, alright? Rate, comment, subscribe. Remember, TSO on top, scrub them out. Check us out on, let's see here, we got, I need to get the TikTok going, but we do have a TikTok, TSO TCG official. Twitter, I love Twitter, I'm obsessed with it. I'm sorry, X, TSO TCG _ official. Instagram, TSO TCG _ official. Facebook, it's Team ScrubOut because they won't let me change it to TSO eSports. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Oh, you saw that filter change again. Yo, I'm not that slick on this. I can't act like one of those pretty girls on the TikToks, right? Like I don't know the tech here. The filter ain't that good. See you soon.